Welcome to the 2022 IPF World Open Equipped Powerlifting Championships. Presented by Eleiko and SBD, we are live from Viborg, Denmark, in this, the 50th anniversary year of the IPF. My name's Joe Whiteley. It is my absolute pleasure to be here in the commentary booth with Gary Williams.
And I am super excited to be here. This is the premier event, the absolute best of the best, gathering for the last IPF competition of the year, throwing everything they've got into it, and they certainly have so far this week.
It's been a fantastic week so far. We are most of the way through day 3, and we have the 63 kilo women lifting back to back with the 93 kilo men. So that means the ladies will all come out and do their squats, and then we'll see the men come out and do their squats, and then the women will bench and the men will bench after them. We have the running order on the screen for you right now. Sayuri Fukugawa, Brazil, will lead us out, with Patricia Sutherland next. Elder, Sune, Seul, Aginaga, Hong, Lulova and Solovyova will be out last.
And look at those opening lifts. I mean, they are just monstrous. We're going to see some enormous lifts here today.
Well, of course, these we have Larissa Solovyova. She is one of the most decorated athletes in the IPF.
She certainly is. She's got a rap sheet longer than my arm, I think.
Hot off the back of attending the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama in July. I was just trying to think of how many World Championships has won. I think it's too many to count.
It's more fingers than I've got, I think.
She made the podium again in Alabama this year. Struggled a bit last year struggled with bench in Stavanger last year.
Yeah, I mean, bench is one of those technical things. Some weeks it depends on travel and everything, and sometimes it just doesn't go well.
So we are leading out with Sayuri Fukugawa, Brazil, and she's opening her squats with 162.5 kilos. So all the athletes get 3 attempts. Everyone will come out and do their first squat, then we'll start again at the bottom and everyone will do their second squat. You get 3 attempts at each of the 3 disciplines. We add the best attempts together to get the total, and the biggest total wins.
Well, she made sure she got deep enough there.
We have 3 referees, so you see 3 white lights there. That is a good lift from each of the 3 referees. You need 2 white lights to get a lift past.
This is the Equipped World Championship, so in the squat they wear knee wraps and squat suit. They can elect to wear knee sleeves if they want. They don't have to wear the knee wraps.
This is Patricia Sutherland of the USA. She's opening her squat with 180 kilos.
You really want to get a solid opening lift on the board here. Builds the confidence for the rest of the competition.
Oh, that was fast.
Moved super fast.
I think it's Patricia's first World Championship. So she got a red light there, and there's a little red marker underneath. Each of the failures is color-coded. In squat, the red card is always for depth. So that was a failure to achieve the required depth. But she got 2 white lights, and 2 is good
2
enough.
is all you need. There's no extra points for 3 white lights.
We have Lauren Elder now. She's from the UK. Specifically, she's from Northern Ireland. And she's opening with 190 kilos.
Yeah, and she's planned a competition well. She was here a few days ago, acclimatizing, getting used to everything.
Struggling a little for depth there. She has really long femurs, so she has to sit back a long way on squat. And she's on the board.
Gets that one on, which is good.
Just has to sit it in so the hip crease is below the top surface of the knee.
Yeah, and you can see that wider stance she uses there to try and accommodate those longer femurs.
Next out we have Caroline Sune, Team France. She is going to open with 197.5 kilos.
You can see just adjusting her belt. The belt is the only thing you can adjust on the platform. We have a technical controller to make sure they've got all their equipment in place and correct before they walk onto the platform. Depth looks good. And I think that should be a good lift. A little bit of a knee drop in there, but nothing that bothered her at all. She still generated all the power she needed.
So I would expect her to go up the fairway now. She squatted 207.5 at the UK Arnold only about a couple of months ago. So next out we have Lena Stjøl from Norway for 202.5.
Looking focused, bringing some aggression to the bar.
She's the current European champion. Oh, she's off balance.
Just got a little bit out of line there. She just came up a little bit on the crooked side there. And you can see by her body language there, she knows exactly what she did.
Yeah, she just got a little bit out of line, but she was caught well with the spotters and kept safe. Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador, looking for 205.
Yeah, and this should be well within reach. She's got it well above this before.
Big team from Ecuador this week.
Yeah, I noticed a couple of countries we haven't seen as many. We've seen more than we usually see. Quite a few lifters from Bulgaria as well. And Ecuador had quite a bit of success earlier this week. Drops it in there.
Really efficient. Sometimes hard to judge exactly where to go to drop it in. And she did get one red light from the side referees. Now, we have a 5-man jury at this competition. And if they vote a majority to overturn a lift, because they have a slow motion replay that the referees don't have, they have the ability to overturn a 2-1 decision.
Yeah, you got to bear in mind that the referees have to make a decision, you know, at that full speed, live on the moment.
This is Hung Soo Ching, Chinese Taipei. Again, Chinese Taipei brought a huge team this week.
Yeah, absolutely massive. They've been really good. Their lift selections have been absolutely outstanding.
She's looking to open with 210 kilos. This is nicely into the knee wraps, but
She's having to grind, but I don't think it's going to
no,
go.
it's not.
And that is a rare mistake from the Chinese Taipei team. Their lift selections have been fantastic.
They have. Well, it'll be... Hopefully, it's just a small technical error that she made. It did look to be going well. She looked to be in good position.
She's got depth well. Her knee wraps don't look super tight, and I think she's not getting a lot out of them. Hard to tell from this distance. But the great thing with equipped lifting is you can make a few little adjustments between lifts and fix things that have gone wrong.
So here's Radistina Lulova, Bulgaria, 212.5. Now, we saw her at the UK Arnold a couple of months ago, and her top lift then was 210. So she's opening here on a PB.
It's a big call. But training has clearly been going very well.
Well, she's certainly looking very strong. And she's rewarded with a good lift. It is such a relief to get your first squat on the board.
It changes the whole pace of the competition for you.
If you miss your first squat, then your entire competition plan is out of the window. So here is the legend that is Larissa Solovyova, Ukraine.
Yeah, we have watched her lift and compete many times over. And she is an M1 lifter at the top of her game.
She's taken the gold medal at the World Games four or five times, I think. World champion
She's taken these young lifters to school.
She's been at the top of the sport for nearly 20 years now. Very wide stance.
Yeah, very wide. And that wide stance can be useful, but can also make it difficult to get depth as well. But obviously it doesn't bother her one bit.
There's a lot of equipped experience in the Ukraine team.
Very much so. And a lot of equipped coaching experience as well.
And you can see she keeps her chest up so well there. Sits down into it, and the bar path is perfect. So we are through to the second round of squats now, with Solovyova from Lilova from Aginaga. So here's Sayuri Fukugawa from Brazil for her second squat. 170 on the bar.
And 170, she weighed at 61.8 this morning, this afternoon. This is a massive lift.
Nice depth, but that's a little bit of a tough
she had
spot
to work
for a second.
hard. She didn't seem to get a whole lot of speed out of the bottom, but obviously it was enough. You can see how difficult it is to walk with those knee wraps. She really has to sit back a long way, doesn't she?
Patricia Sutherland is out next for 182.5. She missed her opener at 180.
Yeah, just got a little bit out of line, out of balance. She'll fix this.
Current best is 187.5. Of course, when you've travelled a long way, it's hard to do your best and to hit personal bests on the international platform.
She's just getting a little bit wobbly, that suit pushing her around.
Yeah, I think she's really struggling to press into the suit.
She gets that one on the board.
2 to 1 is good enough.
Yeah, you can see that suit is just really bullying her and pushing her around a bit.
A squat. I've just heard that was overturned by the jury on deck.
So it's no squat there for Sutherland.
So she's in trouble now with 2 squats and nothing on the board. But we have Lauren Elder on the platform right now for 200. This will be a personal best for Lauren.
Big breath in.
I'm going to wait for the referee's decision on this one.
And she gets that on the board.
2 to 1, a good lift for Lauren. I just watched back. It's a better view of depth from this side.
She drops in there quite fast in the first half of the lift.
So here's Elena Seul. She lost her balance with this one.
Yeah, look, I think it's just a case of just getting it all put together. Sometimes it just gets a little bit offline, and when you're talking about this much weight compared to body weight, half a centimetre is enough to throw you offline. And that was pretty fast.
That looked a lot better. 2 to 1, a good lift. She received a red card, a failure for depth from one of the side referees. But we're looking at the side she got a white light from there.
And that is precisely why we have 3 referees.
Caroline Sune, France, 205.
Yeah, she had a good opening lift. You see some of them starting to bring a little bit more aggression to the platform now.
It's another thing that you need to manage is for the duration
Yeah, that's right.
of
You
the
can't come out
competition.
in that first lift all fired up and aggressive.
You can hear the
Depth
coach
is good.
calling her down.
And that should be a good lift. It is 3 white lights. Yeah, and as you were saying, you've got to manage that aggression because that creates fatigue as well. If you come out all fired up on that first lift and then on the second lift, you're going to have nothing left for your bench or your deadlift.
So here is Hung Soo Ching for 210. Missed this first time around. Was it depth?
Yeah, I think it was depth. There's been a couple of problems with depth.
Hung Sing Ting there coaching. He won the 66 kilo world title yesterday, and he's straight in for a day of
Straight
coaching
out the back
today.
coaching.
Oh no, she didn't bring
That's
it
right.
up.
She
That's
couldn't bring it
right.
up, but she did
Yeah.
bring that one up.
That was much better.
And she got a little bit more, and we might see on the replay here, she gets a little bit more out of the bottom.
Lulova and Solovyova get ready. All loading, 215 kilos, Aguinaga, Ecuador.
Next out, Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador. 215 on the bar. Gone up 10.
$215 kilos. Very solid walk out there. She's so quick into the squat, isn't she? Blue white lights. A quick squat is a good squat.
Absolutely.
Don't want to hang around there too long.
She was junior world champion 2 or 3 times, so she's an experienced lifter. Out of the juniors now, of course.
Lulova, Bulgaria.
Here's Radostina Lulova, Bulgaria. She's already squatted more than she ever has before, and she's gone up 12 and a half, 225 on the bar.
Well, that 212 and a half, she went like a rocket. Yeah, and when someone's opening on a personal best, I mean, we don't know how their training's been going. It's always hard to tell, but it's always a nervous wait to see how it goes.
I'm not certain of that one. It didn't look quite as deep as her first.
She certainly doesn't have an issue with the strength. The power is phenomenal.
But the referees have a better view than us. And if we look at that back from the side, she sits back into it, just breaks parallel. It's not enough to reach parallel, you have to break through. So here is the lady in the lead, Larissa Solovyova, Ukraine, for 227 and a half, 500 pounds.
Yeah, she's playing a really smart game. She can lift well more than this, but you know, just get the numbers on the board. Don't do anything crazy.
I think you're right. I think she's just looking to go 2.5 ahead of Lulova. She's heavier, so she can't match. If 2 lifters select the same weight, then the lower lot number goes first. Lot numbers are allocated randomly at weigh-in. But if 2 lifters lift the same weight, then the lighter body weight takes the advantage. Look at the speed of that. It's phenomenal.
Fantastic as always. She's got one red light now from the center referee.
175 kilos, Sayuri Fukugawa of Brazil. Bar is loaded. 175 kilos of Fukugawa, Brazil. Sutherland and Elder to follow.
And as quickly as that, we are through to the end of the second round, with Solovyova leading from Lulova from Aguinaga. And Sayuri Fukugawa is out for her final squat, 175.
Well, this will be a really nice personal best. This will add 10 kilos to her best lift. Oh, sat into that really nicely.
That is a perfectly judged
And look at the
attempt.
smile on
Yeah.
her face. She knows that was good. That was textbook. Sit down, drop into it.
That was the traditional way to escort an equipped lifter off the platform, by the way. Coach scoops them up, runs off to the warm-up with
Very
them.
much.
It's so hard to walk with those knee wraps and squat suits on.
Keep trying it, you can do this.
Now we have a lifter in trouble. Patricia Sutherland in her first World Championship has not managed to squat to depth yet.
Yeah,
she
she is
needs this.
really behind the 8 ball here. This is pressure time.
If she doesn't make a successful squat, she can continue in the competition and even take medals in the other disciplines, but she can't make a total or place in the main competition. It's better.
It looked better. I don't know if
Is
it was
it
enough. Very hard to see from this angle.
She
It was.
has 3 white lights. You cannot take away a squat that got 3 white lights.
She has got herself back in the competition,
The jury can only intervene when it is 2-1.
and vice versa. The coach can only approach the jury if it's 2-1 as well.
And here's Lauren Elder from Northern Ireland. She's having a good day today. She's got her first 2 squats on the board, looking for a massive 10 kilo PB with 205.
She'll be happy with this. She is strong. Was she deep enough?
So hard to tell with the long leg lifters.
She gets it on the board. She's happy with that. Honestly, she's been smiling all week since she got here. So
Yes.
Your hook get ready bar is loaded. At 2 kilos, the Suda.
Next up, Caroline Suna for 210. Small personal best on the international stage for her.
I think any personal best on the international stage is pretty fantastic, isn't it? I mean, we often think of powerlifting as being linear, and a lot of young athletes think that they should be performing better and getting bigger totals and bigger lifts in every competition they do, but it just doesn't work that way.
Very upright position.
And just couldn't generate the power. She got a good depth there. Her knees just dropped in a little bit as she pushed out.
So it's sometimes hard for people to understand that you can't perform at the same level on in competition like this as you do in the gym, because you've travelled such a long way. The warm-up's different. The travelling takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, everything is different. You've got to learn to be adaptable and flexible.
Leila Seol, 212.5. Had a little problem with balance on the first one. I think it's a very low bar position, so when she gets back to the top and is upright, hard to stay on the back.
She got a little bit of a wiggle at the top there as well, but she managed to control it.
2-1 is good enough, and that's moved her up to 4th place. Kung Su Ching, Chinese Taipei for 215.
No,
Just a reminder that these ladies are all under 63 kilos body weight.
45 seconds.
well, she's just mistimed it a little bit, trying to get the belt on there. And not leaving herself a huge amount of time.
It's a difficult thing to time, the knee wraps. You need to start wrapping about 3 lifters out. And you don't want to leave your lifter standing there in tight knee wraps for too long, because your feet will go blue. It's a painful experience standing in tight knee wraps.
Yeah, it's not something you want to do often. Oh, can she grind this out? I think she can. I think she's done it. What a lift.
Superb.
And she gets 3 white lights for that lift. What an effort.
I think she deserves the Hart Award for that.
That is absolutely outstanding. She gets the speed, but just doesn't keep up with it. And then she just grinds through, pushes the hips up. You can see her chest pop up there.
Key thing is she did not let that bar get away from her. She kept her position brilliantly, just kept pushing.
Absolutely outstanding.
Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador for 222.5. This will give her the squat bronze. We hand out medals for all the lifts, so we give out medals for squat, bench and deadlift. Of course, the big prize is the world title, but this will give her the squat bronze.
She moves that bar so fast in both directions, doesn't she?
And Aginaga takes the bronze. Great strength there. Radistina Lulova, Bulgaria, she's having a great day. This is an attempt to take the squat gold away from Solovyova.
Yeah, she's looked really strong. I mean, she opened at 212.5, more than she'd done before. We hadn't seen her lift that weight before, but it rocketed up. Second was fantastic. Is she going to try and put a little bit of pressure on? Oh, not quite on that one. You can see she didn't really get into that one like she did the others. So there was no real power out of the bottom.
Still, she's taken the silver medal on
She has
squat.
the silver.
Which means that even before she comes out for the lift, Solovyova has the gold. But it's not just about individual lift medals, this is about building a total.
And she is definitely thinking about the long game today. She's not going to get caught up in any games. She's not going to get caught up chasing records. She has come here for one reason, and that is the World Championship. I think she's already got a space in her cupboard for it.
I would be amazed if she has.
I was going to say, I don't think there's any space left. Yeah. She's got those wraps super tight for this one. She's going to get everything she can out of the equipment.
237.5 on the bar. Look how well that moves.
And she's so stable under the bar as well. She doesn't let the bar bully her or push her around.
So, just watching that back from the side. Great positioning, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, she really uses the equipment well.
So that is Solovyova with the gold, Lulova with the silver, Aginaga with the bronze. So we are through to the second group. We have back-to-back groups, so all the ladies do their squat. Now we have the men's 93 kilo A group coming out for their squats. Here's the running order, with Jandarek coming out first, followed by Johnson, Bilon, Mayak-Masuren, Johnson, Rysiev, Musienko and Lentz.
Yeah, this 93 kilo class, these guys are incredibly strong. The world squat record is 400 kilograms.
I think we're going to see an attempt at that today.
I have no doubt we're going to see more, maybe more than one attempt at that.
This is Andreas Jandarek, Austria, with 310. Strong. He's on the board. Relief comes off him in waves.
It is such a relief getting that first lift on. If you've never lifted equipped, it's almost impossible to imagine just how much of a relief it is.
Next out we have Gregory Johnson, USVI. He's opening his squat with 340 kilos. Now this man is built to deadlift.
Yeah, wait, if you've not seen him before, wait till he walks onto the platform and you'll understand what we're talking about.
He told me before his deadlift's been feeling great, and he hopes to put up a big number today.
And
he does need to come out.
He's coming out because we can't see him anywhere, and there's only about 30 seconds left on the clock, which is really not enough time.
He's on his way. I've just heard that he's on his way to the platform. He's not left himself any time to set up, really, but he is here at the lick.
And you can see why he's built the deadlift.
15.
Now, although there is time, he doesn't have to perform his squat in the time. He just has to get the start command, and there it is.
I don't know how he managed to get set up so quickly and completely unfazed by the time.
That was phenomenal. To run out like that, set up and go, yeah, give me the start command, I've got this.
Hold my beer, coach, I've got this.
Superb. And of course, it's hard to time the knee wraps when you're
especially
one of
that
the
first
out.
round.
Yeah.
That first round is so difficult because you're learning how fast everyone's lifting, how fast the platform crew are loading, how much time do I need to do 3 lifters out, do I need to do 4 lifters out.
So here is Moisa Bilon from Ecuador for 340.
This is his last year of the juniors.
It is. I was just trying to think. He won the juniors in Turkey. It was only a couple of months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
August.
it was just recently. Yeah. Super strong.
Really controlled.
Oh, look at the depth.
For sure.
He is not giving the referees anything to think about there.
And of course, that's key. You don't want the referee to be making the decision. You want to put it beyond.
Yep, you're going to make it for them.
Noah Johnson and Rex Smith to get ready. Bars loaded, 350 kilos, Diagma Soren, Mongolia.
So here's Galsaikan Mayagmasurin from Mongolia with 350.
I'm going to take my hat off for your pronunciation. That was brilliant. I'm not even going to try.
On the second time of asking. Very efficient.
He looks strong.
He does. We haven't seen him for a while. I think the last time we saw him at Worlds was in Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai, he competed. I can't recall how he did in Dubai. 6th. But he is looking strong, so that's promising.
Now here's Noah Johnson. We've got 2 Johnsons in this group. We've got Gregory Johnson, Noah Johnson. Noah Johnson is lifting for USA, and he cheered on his sister to win. Was it this morning? Yesterday.
Yesterday.
So his dad won at the World Masters a few weeks ago. His sister won yesterday. That's a lot of pressure.
It's yeah, you really have put yourself under pressure here, haven't you? And your whole family's just won. Well, he set a pretty good standard.
Well, absolutely. He was a junior world champion. This is his first Open, I think. But he was out in the World Games. Both him and Kimberly were out at the World Games. Brother and sister competing together.
That's
there.
fantastic, isn't it?
Next out, we have Volodymyr Rysiev from Ukraine.
This man needs no introduction, does he?
Absolutely. He took the gold at the World Games in Birmingham. Silver medal in Stavanger last year.
And as we said before, there's so much equipped experience in the Ukrainian team and so much equipped coaching experience as well.
His Masters lifter is in the M1s, which means he's over 40. He has the M1 total and squat records.
Which is currently 387.5 for the squat. Oh, looks good. From where I'm sitting, that depth looks really good.
Looks
But
absolutely phenomenal squat.
as you'd expect.
375 Ukraine. Let's and Yanderek get ready.
We have another Ukrainian out next, Kostyantin Musienko. He was an absolute phenom as a junior.
Another one that doesn't really need an introduction.
Absolutely.
Was lifting in the 83s last year.
I think he's been a 93 for a little while. I think he was a junior 83.
Ah.
Yeah. He's a big bencher.
And he holds records in the 83s as well, I think.
I think the 351 world record bench in this class is his, which is almost as much as he squats.
That's my squat and my dead and my bench all added up together.
He's such a composed lifter, though. Oh, that was harder than you'd want your opener to look, really.
Yeah, his openers usually look really quick and really smooth.
He's a great squatter, though. You remember in Stavanger last year, he stepped it out, lost his balance, was all over the place, and just got it together and stood up and went, right, okay, I'm ready now.
He just has the capacity to compose himself. He doesn't let the pressure get to him.
And now we have national hero Nicky Lentz. The world record at 400 kilos is his, and he's opening with 390.
From the noise of the crowd, you wouldn't guess that he's from Denmark. That's a pretty sight, all those Alico plates.
Look how fast he moves at 390.
Hard to believe that that is 390 kilograms.
I think we're going to see a world record attempt on his second. And I think with the noise of the crowd when he walked out, if he takes the world record, I think the entire roof is going to come off the hall today.
With 20 kilos, Jan Austria.
Here's Andreas Jandarek for 320. His opener was great.
He had a fantastic
Yeah, it
opening
was,
squat,
yeah.
moved like a rocket. And he has. Even though he's quite tall, he has quite good body mechanics for squatting.
Next out, Gregory Johnson. Hopefully he won't be quite so late to the platform this time. Having said that, he's not waiting to come out.
Having said that, it didn't seem to bother him. He still had a smile on his face. He was laughing when he went out there.
You can see him wrapping his wrists now. Look, he has all the time in the world. You get 60 seconds from the bar loaded being called. And that time you have to get the start command. You don't have to complete the squat. But he could really do with leaving
He could do
himself
with a
a bit
hurry
more
on.
time.
Well, he's giving himself double the amount of time this time. And he's still got a big smile on his face.
It's great to see the
He is
lifters
just
remembering to enjoy it.
The ultimate character, isn't he? He's great to watch lift, but he's great to watch because he just has so much fun out there.
Now, I wonder if he scooped that up and cut depth.
Yeah, that wasn't super pretty. He's got the 2 whites, and that's enough. There's no extra points for 3.
He seemed to just sink his body through rather than dropping his hips. That looks a bit different.
He got
from the
down
side,
there.
yeah.
It just wasn't a very pretty squat compared to what he usually does.
Here's Moise Bilon from Ecuador for 352.5.
He wants to finish his last year in the juniors on a really strong note. He has such great control on the way down and just drops into that bottom so nicely.
It takes so much energy, though, all that control.
Yeah,
slows
and
down.
it really is. It can be draining. If you've got a whole competition ahead of you, you've got to really think about energy conservation as well.
1.5 kilos. Galsaikan Yagmasuren, Mongolia.
Here's Galsaikan Magmasuren, Mongolia, for 367.5. This will at least temporarily move him up to bronze medal position on squat.
Oh, just a little bit too much on that one.
Yeah.
Got a little bit messy at the bottom, I think, as well.
I think so.
Should be able to see on the replay. Just looked like he skipped out of position a little bit.
And once you have 380 kilos
Once you
out
skip
of
out
line,
position.
it's game over.
I'd be happy if I could get 380 kilos in any sort of line.
Now here's Noah Johnson. He is still a junior too. And he is quite close to the junior world record, I
Yeah,
think.
junior world record is 382.5. And he's quite likely, if this goes well, he's quite likely to go 385, remembering that he can't chip a junior world record in the Opens.
It is, in fact, his own world record. He broke this in Birmingham at the World Games.
At the World Games
Yeah.
this year. You know that's a lot of weight if you see an Alico bar bend.
Oh, it's a tough one. I don't know, he just didn't seem to get the drive out
There
of
was
the hole.
there was no real timing in that. There was no power out of the bottom. He didn't get as deep as he got in his previous one. There was no depth there, no power out of the equipment.
It's right what you say, actually. You have to put energy into the equipment for it to return that with an assisted ascent.
So I think he will stick on that 385, I think. That 380, sorry.
Now, here's Vladimir Rusiev, Ukraine. 385. I think this is very close to his own Masters
387.5,
record.
his own
yeah,
Masters record.
which I think he set in Birmingham at the World Games. Birmingham, Alabama, rather than Birmingham, UK.
And he is only recently moved into the Masters group, age group. Forever the absolute professional, isn't he?
Yeah, he had to put a little bit of work in there.
They're certainly not looking as quick as they usually do. I'm not sure what other competitions he's done in between.
And of course, for the Ukrainian team, it's we don't know what training conditions they've had. Here's Konstantin Musienko for 387.5. This will move him ahead of his teammates.
He's so quick. Can he grind through this? No, he has pulled out of it.
I think he made a bit of a mistake at the bottom there. So I think he's got every chance of coming out for that again.
Absolutely.
And absolutely hitting it. So if we watch this back on the replay, there we go.
Drops back there.
Lost his position, and
Yeah.
that's hard to come back from. Now, the noise you can hear from the crowd is because local legend Nikki Lentz is about to come out for a new world record at 400.5 kilos.
To
The only time you'll
0.5.
see that chip, that half a kilo, is when it's a world record.
And that is a lot of red plates. This is an absolutely enormous lift.
Now, we know he's capable of this. He squatted 410 at the World Games. Unfortunately, he didn't get a bench in. And in order to claim the world record, you have to make it open.
Got to get a lift in every discipline.
If anyone can, Nikki Lentz can. And there we go. I have no doubt at all. That is
Are we
the
sure
new
they're real
world
plates?
record. Come on, Nicky
And
Lenz.
he is super excited about that too, isn't he?
And that's only his second squat.
Where do you go from here?
3:30 on the bar now.
That was absolutely superb, an absolute masterclass, and we are not done
Unbelievable.
yet. So at the end of the second round of squats, Nicky Lenz with his new world record is leading the way, ahead of Vladimir Risiev and Konstantin Musenko. And here we go with the third round. And this is Andreas Jandarek. All his squats have looked great so far.
He's looked absolutely fantastic, hasn't he?
And he's gone up another 10 for 330.
And that is what a third lift should look like. It moved well, but he had to put the work in for it.
And he's absolutely delighted with it.
3.5 on the bar now for Rio, Ecuador. Gregory Johnson and Pierre Van get ready.
As he should be. That was a great squat.
All ready? 362.5 kilos. Rio, Ecuador.
Next out, Moise Bion from Ecuador. 362.5. Just a little more than he has done on the platform before.
Yeah, not a huge personal best, but a personal best.
And I'm glad to see Gregory Johnson's all ready to come out for his. He's not going to be late this time.
Well, better late than never.
We have Moise Bion from Ecuador out first. Current junior world champion.
Yeah, he gets stronger and stronger every year.
Look at that
He
fight.
can do
Wow.
it, and he keeps grinding. I'm going to wait for the referees on this one. He gets the 2 whites.
So the blue card on squat is for soft lockout. You have to return the bar to the top with your knees locked and in an upright position. But 2 to 1 is good enough.
Absolutely outstanding. He just never let up on that. The bar didn't shift.
The blue card
Either
could
way.
also be for downward movement of the bar. You are quite correct. Here he is. He's out.
He's giving
bang on
himself
time on the
48
platform.
seconds. What's he going to do with all this time?
Well, I think he's going to squat a PB. Or a PR, as he's American. No, he scooped
He
that.
just got
Yeah.
all out of position again, didn't he? He managed to save it on the last one. He got out of position on the second and saved it. Couldn't save this one.
Squat's not his lift. I mean, he's moving a phenomenal weight there. But he's going to be excited for the deadlift at the end. So here's Galsaikan Magmasurin from Mongolia for a retake of the 367.5.
Yeah, I think he's made a really smart decision keeping that weight the same there. Yeah, we're getting up into some big numbers here.
Oh,
And he
what a
just
shame.
couldn't
He
keep
was
that
so
going.
close to the top.
The good news is he has a squat on the board.
Oh, what a shame he just lost his balance.
Yeah, he just shifted forward. I think he looked like he was going to keep pushing through and just shifted forward and lost all that power.
So here's Noah Johnson to retake 380. He's not been tempted to try to go for 385 to extend his own junior world record. And I think that's smart.
Yeah, I think it's really smart not to get caught up in the record sometimes. Sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in the moment. There's so much excitement. You've got the crowd cheering for a world record we just had. It's really easy to get caught up. And he hasn't. He's stuck at 380.
Now he's got it back to the top, but let's see what the referees make of the depth.
I'm not going to call that one. He gets
Oh,
it.
the referees like the depth.
But I think that was definitely the right decision to stick at the 380 there. 385. It could well have gone, but it would have been a big risk lift.
is loaded. 387.5 kilos.
So here's Kostiantin Musienko out next. He's sitting in 4th place right now. This lift will get him the silver medal for the moment, with Risiev still to squat. Missed it last time. It just did look a bit heavy.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've had lots of different competitions throughout the year. There's been lots of travel for these guys as well. You know, it's not a short trip coming here. He's going to fight this one. He's going to fight it all the way to the top.
Wow. Huge amount of grit and determination.
Gets it on the board. Let's hope that hasn't taken so much out of him that other lifts have to suffer.
Well, that moved him ahead of Risiev for now, but here comes Risiev, and he's about to try and extend his own Masters 1 world record. We have world records in the Open, but we also hold age class records.
Looking for 392.5. Remembering you can't chip a Masters world record on an open competition, so he has to go up by full increments, minimum increment of 2.5 kilos.
392.5 kilos for Vladimir Risiev, and we can't see him in the wings.
Well, I really hope he hasn't mistimed everything on a world record attempt. We've only got 42 seconds left on the clock, and he hasn't made the entryway yet. The speaker just went out for a look and is shaking his head as well.
30 seconds.
30 seconds to go.
I don't think there is some movement happening around there.
He won't make it now.
Not a chance.
No, he's not coming out. And I think
Which
that's
is
wise. If you're really late to the platform, you'll run out there and you've got not much chance of making the squat.
You're wasting energy on a lift that you're unlikely to get in a rush day. And this is a world record. This is an opening lift. This is a world record attempt.
So that means Musienko takes the silver with 387.5, and Risiev takes the bronze with 385.
That is not over yet.
It is not.
And 5 kilos.
I'm sure you can hear the crowd at home.
Here is Nicky Lentz of Denmark for 405 kilos to extend the world record he set moments ago.
405 kilos. Weighs in at 92.5 kilos, so well over 4 times body weight.
Unbelievable. He already has the gold medal in squat. He already has the world record. Wants to push it on a bit further.
He's squatting a mid-sized sedan.
How strong is
I
Nicky
think he
Lentz?
could have put 450 on there and it still would have gone up.
That is a good lift and a new world record.
That is a world record I think will hang around for a little while yet.
Well, until Nicky Lentz
Well,
squats again.
until next year when he squats again.
So let's take another look at that phenomenal squat. Controls the weight in superbly.
He is just so strong and so professional.
So here are the standings as we finish the squats, with Nicky Lentz taking the gold, Musienko the silver, Risiev the bronze. And we are back. We've had some exciting lifting already here at the IPF World Equipped Powerlifting Championships.
Yeah, it has been absolutely out of control. The whole week has been out of control with amazing lifting, but tonight it just seems to be even more energy in the stadium tonight. World records dropping. That was just an incredible world record we had a few minutes ago, 405 kilos.
And it was a world record by a Danish lifter, and we
Made
are
it
in
even
Denmark.
more
That was
exciting,
the most
doesn't it?
popular lift we will have all week, I think.
Yeah, that one will go down in Danish history, I think.
So we've done the squats. We are now through to bench. So the 63 kilo women will all come out and do their benches. And then we will have the 93 kilo A group, the men, come out and do their benches. So here's the running order for the women's bench. Lauren Elder will lead the way. And then we'll have Fukugawa, Hung, Lulova, Seol, Sune, Sutherland, Solovyova and Aginaga.
Yeah, and I think bench is probably one of the most difficult and equipped to get the numbers on the board. And, you know, if you're out in front and you're buying for a world championship, this is where you have to be really smart with your lift selections. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. It's a big risk being able to get a bench on the board, and we've seen it so many times this week already with people putting on great squats and then not getting a bench on the board.
And of course, Nicky Lenz took the world record squat. He will need to get a bench on the board to make a total to claim that record.
Yeah, to solidify that record, you have to have a total. As you said earlier, you missed out on that record at the World Games.
He did.
Hit 410.
He will not make that mistake again.
I would really hope not.
We are about to get underway, and Lauren Elder is going to lead the way with an 85 kilo bench. As soon as the clock ticks down, the Czech spotting team will load the bar.
And these guys are super fast. She had a pretty good run on squats. She was looking strong.
She absolutely did. I think she got 3 for 3 and a 10 kilo PB, I think. I think that's pretty good by anyone's standards.
She was looking strong.
Bench isn't a favourite. She's a deadlifter, Lauren. And quite often when you have deadlifters' arms, when you're built for deadlift, you are not built for bench.
Such a long way. You know, I think most powerlifters have that one lift that they're just not their favourite. That is a long way to shift that bar, isn't it?
Unfortunately,
that was
there
moving
was
so
a
well.
dip. The bar must go straight back to the top without any up and down movement, and there was up and down movement there.
So she'll fix that on a second. It's not unusual in equipped bench to use the first lift tile in the equipment, as we like to say.
Here's a Sayuri Fukugawa, Brazil, for 95 kilos. Just taking a moment to explain to the handoff crew exactly what she requires.
And if I recall rightly, her last squat was phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember the smile at the top.
Everything.
Oh, that was lovely.
That was absolutely superb, wasn't it?
And that was a PB already. Now, red cards, red lights from the side referees with yellow cards.
Let's have a look.
I think it's butt lift. I think her butt came off the bench. Your head, shoulders and butt must stay in contact with the bench. Your feet must stay flat on the floor.
Yeah, now your feet can move or slide, but they can't come off the floor.
Move laterally, but not lift. Hung Soo Ching, Chinese Taipei, for 95. And I think Fukugawa has been given the lift by the jury. Yep, the jury have overturned that. Fukugawa was a good lift. And that was a nice lift as well for Hung.
Yeah, that moved really well. She found the touch really nicely. Drove the bar back just enough to get the speed.
So that's an example where the jury can watch back the slow motion replay, and that gives them the advantage over the referees that are on the platform. So here's Radistina Lulova. She was looking phenomenal on squats. Opening her bench with 100 kilos.
Oh, very smooth touch there. Didn't have to really fight the shirt at all to get the touch, which gave her a really good line to push back up. Instead had to fight back and forth to get the bar down.
Lena Cyril from Norway for 115. Very flared.
Yeah, very much so.
Works well for
But
her,
it
though.
works for her. I mean, obviously, when we talk bench, we're very much elbows tucked in, but that doesn't mean it's the only way to do it. This is something that works well for her mechanics.
Whatever you can do to get a bench shirt working.
in some cases, it is a bit of whatever you can do, isn't it?
Here's Caroline Sune, France for 115. Had a decent day. She did miss her third squat.
Yeah, she was looking strong though. Her opening 2 squats looked really good.
Oh, that was so fast.
Very nicely done. They had that shirt set absolutely perfectly. She didn't have to really fight it. And powers it off the chest.
Patricia Sutherland now for 125. She had a bit of a difficult time.
Yeah, she
On
just
squat.
got in by the skin of her teeth. Let's hope her bench goes a lot better for her. Dragging it through the shirt. Oh, tough
it's a
touch.
difficult touch.
Gets away from her there.
Yeah. Well, what we mean by difficult touch is the shirt is resisting her efforts to bring it down to the chest. You need weight on the bar in order to overcome the resistance of the shirt. And you can see just there it starts to skip about.
Yeah,
Actually,
so you're
there's-
trying to build up that potential energy. The problem is that a shirt, when you're building up that potential energy, it wants to take the path of least resistance.
So here is Larissa Soloviova for 155. This is quite a light opener for her.
Yeah, but again, I mean, we're looking at, I think she's really looking at the long game as well. She's playing all the smart numbers. Nicely done.
So she holds the world record right now at 181.5. She nearly fell over the referee there on her way out from the platform.
Ecuador, bar is loaded. Akinaga, Ella and Fukugawa get ready. Last lift in round 1.
Yeah, I think that's really smart number choices.
So this is Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador for 160. Having quite a lengthy chat with the handoff guy.
You don't want to make it too complicated. These guys are handing out hundreds of lifts. You want to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible.
And when English isn't your first language and it isn't the first language of the handoff guy, then I don't know. That's Jan Pink there. He's very experienced. Imagine he'll give a great handoff no matter what. That was superb.
Absolutely brilliant. She gets one red light there. Not really sure. We couldn't see from that angle, of course.
She's got Adam Riley, the British ref, on that side. He's a great referee. I didn't see any infraction myself, but Adam's got a different angle to me. So that is Aguinaga in the lead, with Solovyova just behind and Sune in third. So here's Lauren Elder for her second attempt at 85. There was just that downward movement.
Yeah,
of the
she
bar on
got
her
a
first.
really good pop off the chest, which was great. And then it just sort of dropped a little bit. I think she'll correct that. I think she just needs to get a little bit more speed with it. She gets a good pop, chase it up.
It's a common thing you do see in equipped bench. The bench gives you so much, and then you have to be underneath driving it home.
Yeah, and that
Now
looks a
from
lot
that
better.
angle, that looked perfect.
And 3 white blocks.
She's on the board.
She's been smiles all week, and she's even more
skipped off
smiles
the
now.
platform there.
She's got a really interesting style. She brings that bar down very, very low.
I think it's the length of her arms, to be honest.
And as you said, she does have those deadlifting arms, and it does mean you've got to move the bar a long way.
So here's Sayuri Fukugawa, Brazil, for 100 kilos. This will be a big personal best for her.
She's going to have to be very careful that her feet don't touch the rack. From that angle, they look very close.
Good lift. And this is sometimes an issue with lifters who don't train on the competition equipment. The rack she trains on may not even have safeties.
That's right.
In
She's
that position.
only about a centimetre away there, so she'll have to be quite careful if she gets foot slip.
Hung Soo Ching, also for 100 kilos.
Yep, if you have the opportunity in your train to train on certified equipment, it's highly recommended. I mean, obviously not everyone has that opportunity.
We always have this fantastic Eleiko combo rack at the IPF World Championships, so it's worth having a bench on one of those if you can. Great lift there for Hung.
102.5 now. Bulgaria. Zul and Sule, get ready. Bar is loaded. 102.5 kilos, Lulova, Bulgaria.
Radistina Lulova, 102.5. That's a very small increase.
Yeah, look, there's also not a lot of turnaround time in this group. I mean, the spotters and loaders are moving really fast, so there's not a lot of time to come off, catch your breath, and get back on again.
Yeah, I think she pushed that in the wrong direction. If we can see that again from the side, you want to be pushing the bar back towards the shoulders, and I think that went straight up.
Yeah, there was not a real lot of backward movement there, was there? Easier to push something up a hill than it is to push it straight up a wall.
Lena Seol, Norway, for 120. This will move her up to third place for the moment, with 5 lifters still to do their second. And it ground to a
just
halt
can't
and would
quite
not
lock.
go.
And this is with equipped lifting, when that bar grinds to a halt, You know, there's just no momentum left. It's very hard to grind the rest of the way.
You get so much out of a bench shirt. Well, it depends actually how much you get out of a bench shirt on your individual mechanics, but
But you've got to use that momentum to keep it going.
if you run out of assistance from the shirt and you're left with 50% more than your raw max in your hands, that won't go anywhere. Here's Caroline Sune, France, for 120.
Oh, she got great speed
Yeah,
there,
I
but
really thought
the
that was
shirt
going.
just got away from her in that direction. I think every equipped bencher has experienced that, where suddenly it just goes behind.
Patricia Sutherland is out next. It's her first World Championship and she is not having a great day.
Yeah, she's having a tough run. Isn't she? Tough run on squats. Now she's made it tough for herself here on bench as well.
She's kept the same weight, which I think is wise.
Yeah, I think if it's your first World Championship, I think it's wise not to really push the envelope, playing with extra weight to get it down. And we will quite often see some extra kilos go on to try and make that touch a bit easier, but that comes down to experience as well.
She needs to keep control of this on the descent. That looks good.
That looks
Yes.
so much better.
I think she's on the board.
She kept that line all the way down. You watch the replay. She did not let that shirt bully her this time.
That's
In
a great
control.
touch. And she got a fantastic pop off the chest.
162.5 kilos, Larissa Solovyova, Ukraine.
Here's Larissa Solovyova for 162.5. .44 years old. In strength sports, people come into their max strength more in their 30s than...
Yeah, look, I think that's one of the greatest things about powerlifting is that you don't have to start powerlifting at 6 years old and, you know,
And
to
be
make
done
it to
by
the best.
20,
Yeah,
yeah.
you would be. I mean, a lot of people start this sport in their 30s. We've even had a lot of people start this sport in their 40s.
This will put her back into first place on bench. Now, I'm not sure if she jumped that command and it's not going anyway. That's a surprise, actually, but we don't know what conditions she's training
look.
under right now.
I'm trying to watch the replay here. I mean, obviously we won't see the command. Yeah, there's a bit of hesitation there after she popped off the chest, which suggests that maybe she did jump the command.
So here's Johanna Aguinaga from Ecuador for 167.5, and her opener was superb. $167.5
kilos.
Very nice indeed. Slow
Yeah.
down a little bit.
That's about what you'd expect for a really good second. You know, your first one's rocketed up. This one I've got to work a little bit. The third one I'm going to put
She
more.
got a yellow card from the side referee again. I wonder if it's the butt lift. It's a little bit of a difficult angle to see though. So Aguinaga is leading from Solovyova, and that put Sutherland into third place. So here's Lauren Elder for her third bench.
Yeah, she was very happy to get that second one on the board. Oh yeah, she got out of sorts there. You could see. Yeah, she's laughing to the coach over there.
Well, she'll be laughing now because it's time to go and warm a deadlift up.
I can see why she was laughing after watching the replay. Everything went awry on this one.
Bench isn't her favourite. But she's through to her favourite now. She can
You know what? She
get
got
that
one
bench
on the
shirt
board,
off.
and that's, you know, sometimes in bench, that's all you can do is to get one on the board.
So here's Radistina Lilova, Bulgaria, for her second attempt at 102.5. So if you miss a lift, you can't go down. You can only take the same again or go up. And that's not quite
Oh,
going.
she's having to work, and I don't think it's going. No, the spotters have taken that one. But again, she's got one on the board, which means she can register a total still.
Bar loaded, 102.5 kilos, holding Chinese Taipei.
Next out, Hung Soo Ching, Chinese Taipei for 102.5.
Yeah, look, we're into third lifts now, so you know, I mean, you're into uncharted territory quite often on your third lift. Quite often your first lift you've done in training, sometimes even your second you've done in training, but quite often your third lift is uncharted territory. You've never been here before.
And this will indeed be a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Oh, superb.
And it was beautiful.
Absolutely superb. 3 white lights.
105 on the bar now for Sayuri Fukugawa of Brazil. 3 attempts remain to change openers for the men. 3 attempts remain to change openers. Bar is
So
loaded.
we have Sayuri Fukugawa from Brazil now.
Sooner, get ready.
Another lifter, she was out into PB territory with her opener.
With her
and
opener.
She's up to 105 now.
What a great way to have a world championship, though, you know, to get some personal bests on the board. They've dialed that shirt up pretty tight for this one. And I think it was just a bit too tight. She had to really work the touch there, just couldn't quite get the position right.
It's counterintuitive, but when you can jack that shirt down and it's a harder touch, it's sometimes you can't get the touch just right and the shirt pushes you out of position.
Yeah, it's a real balancing act, isn't it?
So here's Lane Seul from Norway for 120 for the second time of asking. She was quite frustrated missing this last time, so hopefully that's not got into her head.
Yeah, I think she's got enough experience to have thrown that off. Plenty of great coaching in a corner as well. Good touch. I think that should be a good lift.
Yeah, that looked good to me from here.
And you could see the chalk line on her chest there, and she hit it exactly where she wanted it.
Just about managed to keep her butt in contact with the bench.
It was super close.
Caroline Sune now for the 120 she missed on her second.
Can she get an extra 5 kilos onto a total with this lift? Certainly be nice. I think she can.
Yeah, that one looked good. That was a no,
two
side
red lights.
referees.
Both the side referees picked up an infraction.
Yes, the foot did not remain on the bench, I'm afraid.
Yep, but
There it is.
quite often when it looks like a good lift and you get yellows from the sides, it's because the butt came up. When you struggle with the weight, the body recruits everything it could possibly.
Yeah, and it's a really counterintuitive recruitment as well. When the hips lift, it actually gives you less power.
There was an overturn, then I didn't catch who it was. So we'll update you on that when we figure it out. But here's Patricia Sutherland for 132.5.
No more changes to openers, no more changes.
Oh, great pop off the chest, but did that bar drop?
I think it did.
And I don't think she locked out that right arm either. 3 red lights, unfortunately.
Well, I tell you what, she's not having a great day. She got 1 bench and she got 1 squatting, but she's taking
But
home
you know what? She's still on the
a
board.
bench bronze medal.
You don't have to have the best day to make it work. You've just got to get the numbers on the board.
I think in your first World Championship to take any kind of medal home
Absolutely.
is just brilliant. So here's Solovyova to retake 162.5. It's a funny thing, she is a big bencher, she has the bench world record, but even for her, it doesn't always go her way.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing with equipped lifting. There's more involved than just you. That was a bit of touch.
And did she lock that out? The referees say she did.
Yeah, that was a much better touch on that one there.
Last bench for the ladies is Johanna Aguinaga.
And it's a big one.
172.5.
That is a big lift. Oh, can she lock it?
It certainly went up in parts, but that is a good lift. I think that side referee is stuck on red. And that concludes the ladies' bench. So here are the standings. Aguinaga took the gold medal ahead of Solovyova with the silver. And Patricia Sutherland in her first World Championships takes the bronze.
Absolutely fantastic.
So here we go with the bench session for the 93 kilo men's A group.
Well, the squat session for the 93 kilo group had plenty of excitement in it. Let's see what the bench can bring as well.
Well, we do have the bench press world record holder in this group, Musienko.
351 kilograms.
Look at that smile. I do love to see a lifter enjoying the lifting.
Always happy to be out there.
And as is often the case, big deadlifter hasn't got the biggest bench.
And what's even great was he was at the platform on time. That's a long, long range of motion. And that has got to be tough.
Yeah. You've got to keep that weight in line for a very, very long way. And then you know yourself, if you've got a big weight on the end of huge
Further
long
out
levers,
it goes,
yeah,
the harder it is. Gets that pendulum.
So not unusual to miss your first bench in equipped lifting. I'm sure we'll get that next time. So here is Noah Johnson. For 215.
Noah Johnson under a lot of pressure to keep up the family tradition.
He is, yeah. There's his sister shouting encouragement from
You
the
see that shirt
audience.
really slide up his chest there.
He's not wearing the belt, is he? So I wonder if he'll...
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see he puts one on for his second lift because that shirt really slid up.
And it wasn't the easiest press out. Galsaika Miagmarson from Mongolia for 242.5.
He's a very, very strong man, this gentleman. And when he gets it right, he's got a good bench on him.
Oh, that was a
got that
difficult
lateral
touch, wasn't it?
movement.
Now, I couldn't tell from that angle if he...
Yeah, hard to say, but
Yeah,
he gets the three
there's a
wide
good
lights. He did well there. Once it starts to move laterally, it's really, really tough to gain control again.
He just had to tuck that in. The shirt resisted him getting all the way, but he overcame it and got a good lift. He's on the board.
Yeah, really good work managing that.
Here's Andreas Jandarek. He got all 3 squats in, and
Oh, he looked great on squats,
yeah,
didn't he?
This is 245.
And again, another tall gentleman. He's going to have to move the bar a very long way.
You see squat world record holder in the 120s, Sen Yang, in the shot there. Refereeing all week. He's lifting in about 2 days.
Oh, very well done. Really well done. He looked great on squats. He's looking great on bench as well.
He's having a good day. Now you might want to turn your volume down before Nikki Lentz comes out onto the platform.
Do we need to introduce him? I think the crowd is managing that for us.
255 kilos on the bar.
Off the back of a world record squat.
Now this is fully 30 kilos below his personal best. He's going to want to make sure of that squat world record.
Yeah, and that's the really important thing, is he has to put a bench on. Oh,
And
that
it's
was
not
tough.
gone.
He got a good touch and it popped off the chest well.
In classic lifting, if you're not wearing a bench shirt, it would seem easy to do an easy opener. But in a bench shirt...
There's no such thing as an easy opener bench
No,
shirt. It's
you
easy on weight, yeah, but...
You need enough weight on the bar to get all the way to the chest effectively.
Yeah, it's so difficult to find the balance. If you don't put enough weight on there, you can't get that touch on the chest too much, and you're not going to get the pop that you need.
Moisa Bilon from Ecuador for 265. All these lifters weighed in below 93 kilos body weight.
Well, they got that shirt pulled low, haven't they? But it's worked well.
It's working really well.
They
for
had
him.
the balance just right, the resistance to the weight, and he handled it very well. He's still such a young man. He's got such a big future ahead.
Last 2 lifts in round 1. Bar is loaded at 280 kilos. Orisia, Ukraine.
So here's Volodymyr Rysiev, Ukraine, for 280. He's just moved up into the Masters category this year. So I'm just looking to see if the Masters world record is within range.
305.
Let's see how this one goes. And it
Nicely
moved
done.
well.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that's 280 kilos. He gets a red light and a blue card.
Blue card on bench can either be for soft lockout, the elbow's not locked, or downward movement of the bar. But the whole bar must dip, not just the end.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting rule, that one. It is the whole bar has to dip, and that's why sometimes you'll see a red card, a red light and a blue card from a side referee and not the other.
Next out is Konstantin Musienko. We've known him as a big bencher for some years now.
Yeah, opening at 325.
He has the world record at 351. Only a couple of years out of the juniors.
everything in well, this should fly up. Look at that chest compression. Oh, look at that.
It's just incredible to see so many red plates.
The speed off the chest with that much weight is phenomenal. I mean,
Now we're handling such big weights, we've got more spotters on the platform, so it is harder to see the lift on the replay, unfortunately.
reffing is tough with this now.
But we have to keep the lifter safe.
Yep, safety first.
So, Konstantin Musienko is leading the way with 325, with Rysiev just behind on 280 and Bilon on 265. Second round of bench, and here's Gregory Johnson for another attempt at 185.
No, he's just got that all out of control. How did he recover that? This man is unbelievable.
He's on the board.
Unbelievable. Have a look at it. We won't get the replay, unfortunately. I have no idea how he recovered that bench.
You cannot phase him.
He comes out with 16 seconds on the clock and sets up and squats, and now he recovers that.
Noah Johnson up next for 220. This will be a 5 kilo personal best.
Well, the shirt didn't slip up as much on this one. He's still not wearing a belt though. And that looked a lot better as well.
But he's on the board and he has a PB on the international stage, which is good going. Andreas Jandorek out next from Austria for 252.5.
His opener looked great. His squats look great. He's having a fantastic day.
I think he touched down a little low there.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see the replay on that one to have a bit of a look there. Yeah, he probably is a little bit out of line there. You could see when he pressed, he really had to shift his elbows.
Here's Nicky Lentz of Denmark for his second attempt at 255.
Just in case you couldn't hear the crowd.
He's going to be feeling a little bit of stress now.
Yeah, I mean, that world record, I mean, he's having memories going back to World Games, you know, replaying over in his head now. This is where he has to really focus and not be thinking about what can go wrong. Just really focus on putting this one up.
Now, it's a much heavier weight that he missed it at the World Games. It was 282. But nevertheless, he has to make this. Lock it out, Nicky. Go on. There we go.
And that should be a good lift. It is. He gets 2 to 1.
He is on the board.
And, you know, for him, having that go wrong at the World Games, that lift is a really important moment now.
So pressure's off.
Yeah, now he can really get on with it.
Just needs to make sure to get a deadlift in as well.
Well, I thought we were almost going to see someone miss all 3 deadlifts today, but they managed to get the last one in.
This is Galsaikan Miagmasurin from Mongolia for 260.
This will equal his best lift.
Quite a big jump from his opener.
Maybe a bit too big a jump, I think.
Too much, yeah.
It's difficult to judge jump sizes. I mean, when you're handling this much weight, that much of a jump makes a huge difference to how it feels in your hands. Yeah, you can throw on 10 kilos
Loaded, 275 kilos.
and it's not too bad. Throw on that 15 and suddenly,
So here's Moise Bilon from Ecuador for 275.
last year of a junior, I'm sure he'd love to take home some souvenirs from this competition.
Well, he's got a good chance of a bench medal at least.
Oh, he's strong, isn't he?
Now the bar stalled. I'm not sure that it
I
did.
don't think it did, but this is not a great angle. It did for the side referees.
Downward movement of the bar, I suspect. 290 on the bar now. Vladimir Risiev, Ukraine.
And it's both side referees have picked that up, so
Last 2 lifts in round 2.
There it was. It's tiny, it's minor, but it is
it's there.
Vladimir Risiev, Ukraine.
And this is the IPF World Championships. This is the highest standard of lifting. You have to get it exactly right. Volodymyr Risiev from Ukraine for 290.
Gets such a nice touch, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was a great bench.
You want to look at a good example of a quick bench, these are the guys to look at. He just gets such a nice touch. And he stops the bar quickly and gets that quick press command.
And of course that's important. All the time the bar is on your chest, a bit less than in classic, but still, all the time the bar is on your chest, you're bleeding power. So here is Kostiantin Musienko, Ukraine, for 337.5. For a bench. Not for a deadlift, not for a squat. For a bench
For a
press.
bench. I'm sure there's lots of people watching at home wishing they could deadlift anything close to that. And he's just coming out for a casual bench.
Starts to get a little bit hard to see past the spotters, but this is a big weight and we have to keep him safe. We have the safeties set on that Eleiko combo rack.
Yeah, there's no chances taken in this sport. We have safety racks plus extra spotters.
Look at the speed that moved.
It is incredible to see 337.5 kilos move that fast off his chest.
Absolutely incredible lifting from Musienko. And I think they say you don't win a competition on bench, but he just might.
Bar loaded, 195 kilos.
So here are the standings after the second round of bench, with Musienko a fair way out in the lead ahead of his teammate Risiev and Bilon in third. Gregory Johnson there, he's being sent out by Gene Bell, another legend in the sport.
Yeah, and I will make no comment on this bench.
Not there today. But, you know, he got one in, he got his second bench.
And what a great attitude this man has, though. You know, big smiles, big thank you to the spotting team. Just having a great day. And continually amazing me with what he can achieve.
Noah Johnston now. Family pride at stake,
And
222.5
he's decided to
on
put
the
a belt
bar.
on this one.
I've never been able to keep a shirt down without a
Nope.
belt. Some people do find they restrict their arch. That's
Oh,
a
he's
tough one.
worked it up there. I think he's got it. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights.
The speed this spotting crew is moving is just incredible.
I don't think the Red Bull Formula One crew move that fast.
Oh, I've
guys are
seen
amazing.
Musienko's put the world record on for his third.
I was wondering if he was going to, at 3:37.5, move quick. He's in a good position as well at the moment, and he's sort of looking down the line thinking, I've probably got a good couple of kilos ahead. I can afford to take a risk on this one. And in his head, he probably doesn't even see it as a risk, 3:51.5.
Here's Andreas Janderek from Austria for another attempt at 2:52.5.
Look at that shirt compress.
Just a bit too heavy today,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I mean, that is something we say, it's a bit too heavy today. Your strength does ebb and flow, and it's so dependent on so many aspects, especially with the quick lifting. And of course, what you can do today might not be the same as what you did last
Yeah,
week.
we've all experienced it in training as well, and it's just, people have just got to understand that it's not linear.
So here's Nicky. He made sure of his squat world record. He got 2:55 in on his second. It's only gone up 5, much lower than he's done in the past. It's a bit of a soft lockout.
Yeah, his bench just isn't looking the way it usually is.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not sure what's happened the last couple of weeks leading up. Everything played in strength sport. I mean, even what you eat for breakfast can make a difference to how you can perform. You had enough carbs, you haven't had enough carbs. Fluids are down. Anything can make a difference.
We have 4 benches left in this session. And here's Galsakan Miagmasarin from Mongolia for 260 for the second time of asking.
Yeah, 242.5 to 260 is a pretty hefty jump.
And
I
it's
think
not
he
quite
just sort of maybe miscalculated his jump and went a bit too far. But he is on the board.
That means that Moise Bielon from Ecuador is guaranteed the bronze medal on bench.
Oh, that's fantastic, though, to finish your junior year with a medal on bench in the Opens.
This is 275 for the second time.
Yeah, he's well strong enough for this. We can just get it all lined up properly. Keep it on the shirt line. He should be able to drive this one through. Oh, I think it might have dipped.
Might have. Let's see what the referees make of it.
Yes, he's got 2 red lights. Got a yellow and a blue.
300 on the bar now. Vladimir Rysiev, Ukraine, will be followed by Musienko. Car loading, 300 kilos, Rysiev, Ukraine.
Vladimir Rysiev from Ukraine is now out for 300 kilos. Matches his current best.
Absolutely phenomenal. So he'll take home the silver medal in bench. Oh, he's laddering that one up.
I wouldn't like to say.
Well, there we go, through white lights.
It's a good lift, and he takes the silver.
There's nothing in the book that says the bar has to come up straight.
We are loading the bar to 300.
Just can't go down.
0.5 kilos. That is half a kilo over the current world record. That means this is a world record attempt.
Here we go. We have Konstantin Musienko looking to extend his own world record. He's been chipping away at this world record for years now.
Yeah, he's going to add the 0.5. Bear in mind, 337.5 to 351.5 is a big jump. It's 337.5, look great. We know this guy can bench. He is an absolute professional when it comes to equipped bench.
They're just putting the final adjustments into that shirt. So you can choose where to wear the shirt. If you jack it down at the front, pull it forward. You can pull it up at the back and down at the front, which will change where the chest plate is.
I imagine they have got this jacked as
Maximum,
much as they
yeah,
could.
Absolutely. 351.5 kilos. Absolutely incredible weight. Can't even imagine
This is a squat
how
record
that
in some
feels
weight classes.
in the hands.
Got a nice press there.
Can he lock it?
I
He's locked
think
the right,
he
he's
has.
locked the left.
I think he's
His
got
coach
this.
is celebrating.
He does,
He
two
has
white
it.
lights. That was phenomenal.
He's an incredible bench. It's a
The
shame we don't get much
Speed
sight of the
off the
replay
chest
there,
was
but
absolutely outstanding, wasn't it? And then the strength in the triceps to push this
to
through.
finish that lockout, and that's purely you at that point. The
Absolutely
bench
phenomenal.
shirt is not helping. So Konstantin Musienko took the gold medal with 351.5. Rusiev the silver with 300. Bilon the bronze with 265. We are back for deadlift. They do say the party doesn't start till the bar hits the floor, and the
Well,
bar has hit the floor.
it's about to get started now, that's for sure. This has been an outstanding competition so far.
We have the 63 kilo equipped women in the first group. You have the running order in front of you. Hopefully we'll get to see the subtotal as well, to let you know where we're up to with the competition. There we go. Subtotal is your squat plus your bench press. Your total is your subtotal with a deadlift added on. So Solovyova is leading with 400 kilos, only a little ahead of Johanna Aginaga, 395, and they are a decent chunk up the road from Lena Seoul.
Yeah, and Solovyova is playing a really smart game here. She's just doing enough to stay ahead. She's come in here, she's got one focus, and that is to win the World Championship. And to do that, you can't get caught up in any games. You just got to do the work you need to do to win.
Absolutely. And you said earlier that all powerlifters have one lift they're not so happy with. I would say that Solovyova is the exception. She's not got a bad lift.
No, she doesn't. She generally is good in all lifts. Whether she likes them all as much as the other, but she generally is good in all lifts. And that's what makes her so hard to beat, is that she is good in all lifts. She can add kilos everywhere.
Absolutely. So we have a few seconds before we get underway. It's our last World Championship of the year. We have a few different World Championships. This is the Equipped Worlds. We also have Classic Worlds, Bench Worlds, Junior Worlds.
Yeah, this is the last
Masters
opportunity
Worlds.
to get a World Championship under your belt, though, isn't it? I mean, this time every year you've got the Equipped Championship, and the guys come here and the girls come here. They're throwing everything they've got because it's their last opportunity to get a World Championship. And I think this one, it makes this competition just a little bit more special, and it's the 50th anniversary year as well.
I think this competition is particularly special, like you say, because it's been around for so long. It is
very
the
much.
original World Championship.
It is.
And we're underway, so they are loading the bar to 160 kilos for Sayuri Fukugawa, Brazil. She's having a pretty good day. She's 5'6" at the moment.
Yeah, she really is. And she was great in squats. She looked really good.
She is adopting a very wide sumo stance. Sumo is where the feet are outside the hands. Conventional, you have your feet inside the hands.
Yeah, quite often the decision or the choice between conventional and sumo is a lot to do with body mechanics. But in equipped lifting, we see a lot more sumo because you can get a lot more out of the equipment, make it work a little bit better for you.
That was a great opening for Fukugawa.
And this is where it gets pretty tough too. I mean, the loads and the platform crew are really quick here. There's not much turnaround time between lifts.
Here's Patricia Sutherland. She has not had the best day. However,
Yeah, she's had a tough day, but she's managed to take home a medal, I think.
She
hasn't
has, yeah, bronze in bench, and that was a fast deadlift opener.
You've got to be happy with that.
170 on the bar now, Caroline Soudet, France. Aginaga and Elder get ready, bar is loaded. 170 kilos for Soudet.
Next out, Caroline Sune, France for 170.
I mean, the deadlift is probably the least stressful of all. You don't have to wait for the referees to tell you to start your lift. You only have to wait for them to tell you to put the bar back down.
I mean, in one respect, it's the simplest lift of all. You have a weight on the floor, you have to pick it up.
Yeah, look, I mean, as technical as it still is, it's probably the least technical.
And that was a nice pull.
Yeah, gets that one on the board. That solidifies her total.
Johanna Aginaga, Ecuador. She took the gold on bench press. And I think the bronze on squat as well. So she's really challenging them.
Yeah, she was strong and really consistent.
Another nice opening deadlift.
Yeah, so that solidifies the total there, and the current total puts her about 25 kilos below Solovyova, I think.
So this is where Lauren Elder comes into her own. She is a deadlifter, and she's opening with 180.
Yeah, they are deadlift legs and deadlift arms without a doubt. She got through bench. I'm quite sure she didn't enjoy it.
And made short work of 180.
Yeah, I think that moved faster than she expected.
Took her by surprise a little at the top.
Yeah, everything moved very quickly then. And it can do that occasionally. I mean, if you set everything right, everything moves really fast, it can catch you by surprise.
Here's Lena Sewell for 190 kilos. These are 63 kilo women. These are big deadlifts.
Absolutely huge, aren't they? Current world record, 245. Masters, 225.
Good lift there for Sewell. And that 245 belongs to Solovyova.
Of course. Would you expect any less?
No.
She really is an amazing lifter.
Radostina Lulova, Bulgaria now for 195.
And as much as we say Solovyova is an amazing lifter, that takes nothing away from any other one of these athletes. They are all absolutely amazing. I mean, there are a lot of people that are watching this thinking, I wish I could lift anywhere near that.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a little bit of a tough lockout there for Lulova.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. She didn't seem to do anything wrong. It all looked right. She's even looking at a coach with a bit of, I don't know why that was so tough.
She pulled 202.5 at the Arnold a couple of months ago. So I was expecting that to fly, really.
Yeah, and it's always difficult to know, how the fatigue has affected them until you get to that first deadlift.
Here's Hung Soo Ching, Chinese Taipei, for 195. Takes a moment just to settle herself. And that's an efficient pull, isn't it?
Very much so.
And here we have our final pull of the first round. And once again, Larissa Solovyova is doing what she needs to do to win.
Yep, not doing anything silly. Those familiar striped socks.
Wow,
Very nicely done.
that was so fast.
She's managed today really well. She hasn't gone overly heavy in the squat. She hasn't gone overly heavy in the bench. And look how much energy she has left at the end here. Just in case anyone decides they want to try and challenge her, she's got enough in the tank to pull for a win.
We didn't get the standings there, but we're through to the second round now. And this is Sayuri Fukugawa for 170. Oh, that's a tough one. That is a really tough
and she
lockout.
can't quite hold it there.
She's okay. She's got a smile on her face.
Yeah, look
Just
at
lost her balance.
At the top of sumo, it can be really difficult to hold your balance, and I've seen many and many a time a loss of balance.
So that was the standings at the end of the first round of squats, with Solovyova leading the way from Lulova from Hung. So here's Patricia Sutherland for her second lift at 175.
Yeah, first one looked really good. The second one looks great as well. Looks like she really likes the deadlift.
Carolyn Suna next for 180.
Wow, this is moving fast. There is really not a lot of recovery time between lifts here.
You saw her pop something into her mouth. There's a lot of lifters wear a mouth guard to prevent grinding or damage to the teeth.
Yeah, it's certainly not a bad idea. I mean, if you've ever tried to lift maximal lifts, you unconsciously grit the teeth. There's quite an interesting deadlift style.
Semi-sumo, would you say?
Yeah, it's sort of verging on
White
that-
stands conventional.
Yeah, white stands conventional. I'm not sure what we'll call it. Dimensional.
A good lift nonetheless. And here's Johanna Aguinaga for 187.5. You see a lot of powder on the platform now. It's partly chalk from the hands, chalk for grip, and talc on the legs, talc for slip.
Yeah, so most lifters opt to put talc on to allow that bar to slide up easily.
Oh, that's a tough pull.
The workload of the day is starting to take its toll now. It sort of comes to the point of who's managed their energy levels the best.
And here's Lauren all the way from Northern Ireland.
Her opening deadlift did about 300 miles an hour.
This matches her current platform best.
Well, that one slowed it down a little bit.
Still a good clean lift.
There's still plenty left there though.
Here's Lena Sewell, Norway for 200 kilos. If you look at the graphic on your screen at the minute, this will move her up from 4th to 1st in deadlift, and she's sitting in 3rd place overall. That was easier than her first, I think.
It looked better, didn't it? Which is not completely unheard of. I mean, sometimes that first lift, your neural pathways are just sort of working everything out and waking up again for the deadlift.
And sometimes you make a really minor technical error that just makes it a little bit harder.
And that's
for you.
especially true in equipped as well. I think that tiny little error can make such a big difference. And it's something that might be completely unnoticeable to us.
Here's Radistina Lilova from Bulgaria. She's quite recent on the international scene, but making a name for herself in the equipped. Oh, but that's not going. Her opener was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, her opener was tough. And let's have a look at this one. She hasn't really done anything wrong there. It's just the fatigue of the day is starting to take its toll.
Hung Soo Ching, Chinese Taipei, 202.5.
And we often say how important it is in your training that you should be doing at least at some point all 3 lifts in your in one training session.
Oh, she's
Just
working
couldn't
hard
quite get
for it.
there. You saw the legs lock out. And those guys are so fast at making sure she's okay. Yeah, the legs locked way too quickly. Her butt's still sticking out, and she just gets overbalanced.
You do see people go a little grey and pass out on deadlift, but that was just a case of losing balance. So here's the final lift of the second round, and Larissa Solovyova is looking comfortable. This is 215.
Just wonder if she puts herself far enough ahead, she'll think about a Masters record. If she knows she can't be challenged.
And she's last out to deadlift, so she holds all the cards there. Wow.
Looked absolutely fantastic, didn't it? And you know she's pointing at the platform there. There's a bit of talc built up on the platform.
The athlete is free to have the bar anywhere on the platform they like. So here is these are the deadlift standings with Solovyova ahead of Searle, ahead of Lulova. And then we have the totals with Solovyova leading with 615, ahead of Aguinaga with 582.5 and Searle with 532.5. So we just took a moment there to clean the platform because there was a lot of build-up of chalk and talc, and we will now clean the bar between every round.
Yeah, look, and that was really professional as well. Wasn't complaining about it, just pointed it out so someone knew about it.
So here's Sayuri Fukugawa with the very wide stance sumo. She's going to retake 170. I think she lost her balance with it last time.
Let's hope this one goes up well for her. Oh, that was tough. But she got it there, and does she get the lights? She does. That was a tough third lift though, wasn't it? She can breathe a sigh of relief now. She has done a fantastic job.
Last lift of the day for Patricia Sutherland, 182.5, 400 pounds.
A day that probably didn't start out great has ended pretty well.
I think that's a well-judged third. She had to put some effort in.
Yeah, that was spot on the money. She dialed that in really well. There might have been a couple more kilos in there, but they judged that really, really well.
Here we have Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador. She's looking for 192.5. Sitting in second place, she can't really be challenged for that. And I don't think realistically she can catch Solovyova.
No, she's just a fraction too far away. Yeah, I mean, if she was 10 kilos closer, she could probably put a bit of a challenge,
But this is a great improvement. She was 5th last year in Stavanger, finishing 2nd today.
That is fantastic, isn't it? Oh, she's giving it everything. It's still going up, and just couldn't keep it going.
You can't say she didn't try.
She did not leave anything behind. She's happy. Coach is happy. Outstanding finish.
Here's Caroline Sune.
Just adjusting a belt there. You can adjust your belt after the technical controller, but you cannot adjust any other piece of equipment.
little bit too heavy. I thought it was a little bit ambitious. I saw her current
Yeah.
PB was 180. And while it would be great to get a 12.5 kilo PB on the
Yeah, look,
platform.
and sometimes you feel really good and you feel like you can do it, and then you go to move it and you realise you are very fatigued.
Here's Lauren Elder. This will be a 7.5 kilo personal best.
This would be a nice way to finish.
She's just chalking her hands up there.
This will temporarily put her in contention for a deadlift medal.
I love
Obviously
the deadlift
with quite a
suit
number.
walk.
Yeah. And
It is.
she demonstrates the deadlift suit so
She
well
does,
too.
she does. So this will be a big PB for Lauren. And she's got it.
I think she's
wow.
got that. That should be 3 white lights.
Fantastic.
And she is over the moon.
I love the attitude. She snaps her belt
Snaps the
open
belt
with that.
open.
That was a great deadlift.
Absolutely fantastic. Leaps off the platform.
So here's Radistina Lilova to have another go at 200. It just looked too heavy last time. I think she's, as you say, tired at the end of the competition.
Can she find an extra gear? Not quite, I don't think. Oh, she's still going
Wow.
up. I
Maybe
don't
she
know
has.
how she did that.
I would not have given her
That
a chance
was
of that after
phenomenal.
Brilliant. And
Absolutely phenomenal.
she's moved herself up to deadlift silver.
She certainly has. At that point there, I thought, that's it. There's no way. It stopped.
And I think a lot of lifters would have given up.
That is incredible. And it's credit to not giving up. We always say in deadlift, just keep pulling. And
Sounds
that's
so
it.
simple, doesn't it? Just keep pulling. Hung Si Ching, another go at 202.5.
I'm not going to say anything on this lift.
If she's successful, it will take the silver medal away from Lilova. But it's just too heavy,
Again, just
and she goes
those
over
knees are
again.
just locking out too quickly.
She's okay though, she's okay. And that is no lift. So,
Yeah, I think when you have such a wide stance sumo, anything goes wrong, and you do just hit the
Yeah.
floor.
we get dual deadlift silver. She already has deadlift bronze. She's already bronze in total. But why would you not want to upgrade to
So that gave Hung overall 5th place. And Lilova takes 4th.
bar is loaded.
So that means Lena Seal, who's out next, is guaranteed the bronze in the overall. She's guaranteed the deadlift bronze. She's going to attempt to swap that for silver.
Can she trade that up?
207.5 on the bar.
Wow.
Oh, I think she can.
Oh, did she put it down before the command? No, she didn't. She gets it.
She gets 1 red light for soft lockout, but 2-1 is good enough.
Wow. She just got that command in time. Her grip was slipping.
She's already got deadlift gold. She's already got the world title in the bag.
1 more lift from the ladies group, and that is Larissa Solovyova.
She's been outstanding today. Just, the lift selections, just coming out here saying, this is what I have to do. I'm going to keep ahead and put on the numbers I need, not rather than what I want.
She took the squat gold, she took the bench silver, she has the deadlift gold, and she is our new 63 kilo world champion. And there's another 5 kilos on her total. That gives her 620 kilos and 1st place.
What a fabulous way to finish, though. She was just so clean all week, all day.
So here are the deadlift medals, with Solovyova taking gold, Ciel the silver, Lulova the bronze. And more importantly, the overall, with Solovyova taking yet another world title, Aguinaga taking a brilliant silver, and Lena Ciel for the bronze. What a fantastic women's session that is, but there is no time to reflect on it because we are straight in.
Yeah, look,
to the
if you're watching this at
93
home,
kilo
now's the
group.
chance to rip to the fridge and get yourself some snacks and a cold beverage, because the action is going to heat up here really quickly.
It's worth saying that powerlifting is a numbers game. If you want to follow those numbers more closely, you can follow the live score sheet on goodlift.info, if you're watching live, that is. And we are underway already with Andreas Jandorek from Austria, 270 on the bar.
Look good on squats today. Didn't have it all his own way on bench.
Looked a little soft on this
Yeah.
side to me.
Wasn't his usual lift. Looked a bit slower than usual as well.
Oh, but it looked much better from this side. The camera angle is so deceptive.
Yeah, it can be really hard sometimes.
That was a great view of the entryway, though, lit up in the Ukrainian colours,
275 kilos, Lyon, Ecuador.
just to show support. Here's Moise Bilon, Ecuador, 275.
And he had a great session on bench. Oh no, sorry, wrong person. He didn't have a great session on bench.
He got his opener, though,
He got his opener. He had a great session on squats.
but his opener was good enough for bronze.
I think that's why I thought he had a great session, because he got the medal.
Well, it's great when you can get a medal with your opening lift, isn't it?
That'd be fantastic. Hey, he's looking pretty good. He's still looking fresh.
Rewind lights, good lift for Lyon.
Had a quick look at his left hand then as he walked off.
It looked pretty solid. Didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't see any bar slip either, so
282.5 kilos for Yakov Sulen.
Galsakan Mayagmasurin from Mongolia for 282.5.
yeah, he has had a pretty mixed day.
Ah, he did not get the down
Didn't
command.
wait for the down command.
Well, he got a squat in, he got a bench in. Let's hope he can get a deadlift in as well.
As we said, you have to get at least one lift in each discipline to get a total.
Here comes the home nation hero, Nicky Lenz. He took the squat world record, and
a
he needs to
huge
get
lift.
a deadlift in.
His record is now locked in,
That is an official squat world record for
and
Nicky
he's
Lenz.
just redeemed himself from the World Games, I think.
To do it in front of your home crowd, though, how
That,
amazing
that
is
lift
that?
there would have just been such a relief for him after what he went through.
So Musienko is out next. He took the world record on bench. He's a little bit late to the platform, but here he comes, 305 on the bar.
Well, I think-
Again, he's going to want to make sure of his world record.
Yeah, so he has to have a deadlift on the board to lock that record in. And a double overhand hook grip, if you can do it.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Rewind lights, good lift for Musienko. That means his record is
I'd like to make 305 look that easy.
for Vladimir Russia.
It's less than he benched.
Johnson and Gregory Johnson to follow. This is a World Masters 1.
You just put that in complete perspective there.
Russia, Ukraine.
Well, here is Volodymyr Rysiev from Ukraine to take the Masters 1 total record with his opening deadlift.
Bar is loaded. 320 kilos.
Current world record 1002.5. This will give him 1005. And I know it's not his record because this is his first year in the Masters.
Oh, it is. He took it in World Games
Oh, World Games, yep.
in July. He looks a little flustered, which isn't like him, but that was a great pull.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's usually very well composed, and you don't see him sort of flustering around like that.
Nevertheless, he just extended his own M1 total record.
Absolutely fantastic.
Look how relaxed he looks. I think he's waving at his world champion sister in the crowd there.
Yeah, I just wonder how much of the how many beers they've got bet on this, and who's going to have to buy them.
Now his current best is 3:32.5, and this is 3:30. That's a. I'm not going to say it's a risk, because clearly he knows what his how his training's been going, and I don't. Wow! Clearly that was no risk at all.
None whatsoever. Just made that look like short work.
I think that gives him a good chance for a deadlift medal.
Yeah, that certainly should push him up there.
The last lifter out is Gregory Johnson. Here he comes.
And we said he is built for deadlift, and we're about to see him do that. This is his specialty, I think, you could say.
Now, what makes this really interesting is the world. Wow. Excuse me while I just can't believe how fast that moved. What makes this interesting, he's being coached and sent out by Gene Bell, and the deadlift world record in his class belongs to Gene Bell's son, Ian.
And he's edging very close to it.
So in the deadlifts, we have Johnson ahead of Gorga from the B group. And on total, Musienko ahead of Risiev, ahead of Lentz. Here is Galsaikam Mayag Masuren from Mongolia for his second attempt at 282.5.
Now wait for the command. And he gets it on the board.
There we go, he's on the board.
Yeah, we've got a deadlift from the B group that is still just sitting up there at the moment.
Yeah, just looking down there, it's 320. So we might see that eclipsed as we move through. Still got 2 rounds of deadlift to go. And here's Moise Bilon for 282.5.
This is well above his best lift, which he equaled a few minutes ago.
Made that a little hard for himself. The bar rolled away from him.
Shifted forward a little bit.
So he had to put in more energy to pull that bar back.
Yeah, he managed to control it and get it back in well.
Here's Andreas Jandorek for 290 kilos. He's gone up 20.
Oh, that's a tough lift, isn't it?
That's a tough for a second. You have to question how much more he's got left for his third. Here's Nicky Lentz. He's taken a 15-kilo jump up to 305.
And his world record is solidified now. His total is solidified.
So he's going to defend against Noah Johnson in fourth. I don't think he can realistically catch
Yeah, I was
Rusiev.
just looking at that. I don't think he can realistically challenge for a silver medal, but he's going to have to keep an eye on Johnson behind him.
How fast was that?
I think that moved faster than his opener. Absolutely phenomenal. He has got plenty left in the tank.
Noah Johnson and Gregory Johnson, get ready. Last four lifters in round two. This is a world open total record for Kostiantyn Musienko at the bar.
Wow, this is going to be this is 3:12.5 for Kostiantyn Musienko of Ukraine. This will give him the total record. This is a bigger total than anyone has ever done in this class.
This will give him a 1,051.5 total with another deadlift to come.
So it adds half a kilo to his own total record.
Yeah. And that little chip from earlier on, the world record earlier on, is paying dividends now.
And that's another world record for Musienko.
Wow, and he's got another lift to go yet.
3:35 now.
Next up, his teammate Volodymyr Rusiev, Ukraine, also gone up 15. This extends his Masters 1 total record. Just cleaning the bar to make sure he has the best chance of holding onto it. It's a bit counterintuitive, but if there's too much chalk, it packs out the knurling.
It packs out the knurling. You just can't get a good grab on it. And of course, the Alico bar has the greatest knurling on the planet.
It's sharp as anything.
Oh,
Tough
he
lockout.
recovered that so well. I don't even know how he recovered that.
Absolutely super.
And moved forward a good inch.
So strong.
Some of these athletes tonight have absolutely amazed me in how they've managed to recover things that shouldn't have been able to be recovered.
Here's Noah Johnson looking very calm as he steps out for 340. This will move him up to second place in deadlift. But look, he's still a junior and he's sitting in fourth place in the
22 years of age and sitting in fourth place against this competition.
Oh, it's not going though.
That one slowed him down a bit. Wonder if he just did something wrong there. Very hard to see from where we're sitting. I mean, given the way his other one moved, you would have expected that to move a lot quicker.
So here's Gregory Johnson for 360. 350 moved like an empty bar.
Yeah, well, we'll see how 360 goes and then see what happens next. He has that very meticulous foot placement.
A little bit of work to do at lockout.
Yeah,
but,
lockout was a bit tough.
if we don't see 371.5 go on the bar for his third, I will be amazed.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised. I mean, given that, I mean, he's locked in for that deadlift gold medal. He's not risking anything.
So Johnson is leading in the deadlift race with 360 from Rusiev with 335, and Johnson is still in bronze medal position with 330. And with the total, we have Musienko leading on 1051.5, Rusiev on 1020, and Lentz on 965. Here we go. This is the third round of deadlifts. This is the pointy end of the competition.
Yeah, look, this separates the men from the boys, doesn't it? This is where fatigue really plays a factor.
And I can see that Gregory Johnson has indeed put 371.5 on the bar. We've got a little way to go before we get round to that though, and here's Moise Bilon from Ecuador for 290.
Yeah, picked himself up a medal earlier on for his last year as a junior.
That was just a
bit
step
much,
too
yeah.
far. Yeah, gives him a 910 total. Placing is not certain just yet.
The third deadlift is the hardest attempt to pick because until you step out there, you just don't know how fatigued you are. You come off after your second feeling great. You're like, yeah, give me an extra 20, coach. Give me an extra 20. And an extra 2.5 probably would have done.
And it's always the coach's job to dial you back as an athlete. So
Yes.
nope, how about 10?
Sometimes the athletes can be convincing. Sometimes you convince them.
So, Galsakan Mayagmasurin for his last lift of the day. That's 300 kilos.
I don't know, he's locked that out very well. He has,
And
he's
he
got it on
has.
the board. 3-1.
That gives him a 892.5 kilo total.
Lenz and Musienko, get ready.
Austrian lifter out next, Andreas Jandorek for 302.5 to match his current best.
Adding 12.5 to his second.
That wasn't a break in the floor.
Somebody glued that one to the floor.
Gives him an 865 kilo total, 8th place.
On any given day, he could probably move that one, but after a full day of lifting,
Here's Nicky Lenz for 317.5, and the way 305 moved, I wouldn't bet against this, but it is a big jump for his third.
yeah. But I mean, everything's just been moving so well. He's feeling really good at the moment. I mean, he's got that world record locked in that he's been chasing. He's got the total on the board. He's locked in for the bronze medal. He will finish on the podium.
And he looked like he could have moved.
I think there was another 20 in there.
Superb performance today
Yeah,
from
he has
Nicky
been
Lenz.
outstanding. He's been meticulous. He did all the things he had to do to lock that record away and finish on the podium.
This will extend his previously set World Open total record.
Here comes Kostiantin Musienko for 325. Now, looking at where he is, realistically, he cannot be caught.
No, and this locks in, this adds even more to his world total record as well. So it'll take him to 1064 for another world record.
Junior world champion
If you
many
want to beat
times.
him today, you're going to have to break a world record.
This is his first open world title.
Fantastic. At 25 years of age.
And a 25 kilo deadlift PB as
Wow.
well. What a day he's had.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Locks in a couple of more world records and a world championship.
Noah Johnson, USA. This is quite
Honestly, absolutely phenomenal lifting.
Riciev might spoil his day. However,
We have 3 lifts left. Here's Noah Johnson. 340 did not go for him last time. Gonna try it again.
Yeah, I mean, his opener wasn't too bad. It was just quite unusual for the second lift to be that much of a struggle.
If he gets it, it'll move him up to deadlift silver. He won't change his overall rank. He can't make the overall podium.
Just doesn't want to
too
shift.
heavy.
I just think the long day of lifting has taken its toll, and sometimes it does. Sometimes you just suddenly hit the wall.
But it's a great performance for him. Still a junior, 4th place overall. He had a 932.5 kilo total. We had an attempt change there. Usually you can't change any attempt once you've submitted it. But on deadlifts you get the opportunity to change your lift twice. And that's where the strategic game playing comes
Yeah,
in.
when it comes down to when you've got those really close contests, there can often be quite a bit of shuffling in those last attempts.
340, Volodymyr Rusiev, Ukraine, to extend his own Masters 1 world record. He has the deadlift silver. He has the overall silver.
And this will lock in another record.
And we have a Ukrainian 1-2. That's a great way to finish
Well
your
done.
competition.
You know what? And I think 340 was a great pick on that. There were probably a few more kilos in here, but 340 was well picked. He had to work for it.
One lift remains. Gregory Johnson.
1.5 kilos.
He told me today before we started lifting he'd been brewing something special.
And he's been great to watch all day, hasn't he?
He really has.
You know, he's brought the entertainment as well.
371.5 kilos
This
on the
is
bar.
huge. Right, opened at 350, hit a 360 on his second.
For those watching at home who don't speak kilos, this is 819 pounds. And look at him out there having the time of his life.
And the crowd want him to succeed. They want to see this world record. I think he's got there.
I think he's got it.
I think he has. He has 3 white lights, 371.5 kilos.
Absolutely fantastic.
World
He's
record
so happy. He's
deadlift.
hugging the spotters. He's shaking the referee's hands. And what you couldn't see on the camera there was Gene Bell cheering for the athlete to break his son's world record.
Absolutely
That's
fantastic.
powerlifting. What a celebration. I think he'll be having a few drinks to celebrate tonight. So, Gregory Johnson takes the world record on the deadlift gold. Volodymyr Rusiev takes the deadlift silver, with Noah Johnson taking the deadlift bronze. And in the overall, we saw an absolutely dominant performance from Konstantin Mutienko for the world record at 10.64. Volodymyr Rusiev at 10.25. Nicky Lenz takes the bronze with 9.77.5. Welcome back. We have had we are back, and we have seen some absolutely incredible lifting today with the 63 kilo women. Dominant performance from Larissa Solovyova, and with the men we had world records all over the place. Nicky Lentz took the most popular world record of the week, I think, in front of his hometown crowd. And we had Musienko take the bench record, and then Gregory Johnson take the deadlift record. We're about to get into the medal ceremony now, and we're going to have the women first.
Participation prizes will be presented by Mr. Gaston Farage, IPF President.
The athletes will now be presented with a memento of the event. Just making it to the IPF World Championship is quite an achievement in itself, and the organisers of the event have commissioned a special piece of artwork to commemorate the event.
And now we go to the individual medals.
So we'll have the individual medals in squat, bench and deadlift before we crown the world champion. Johanna Aguinaga being presented with the bronze medal. She squatted 222.5. Radostina Lulova takes the silver with 225.
Squat gold with 237.5 kilos from Ukraine, it's Larissa Solovyova.
And Larissa Solovyova takes the gold with 237.5.
Well done, ladies, thank you. And now to bench press. Bench press bronze with 125 goes to the
bench medals next.
Sutherland.
Patricia Sutherland of the USA takes the bronze medal in her first World Championship. That's a phenomenal achievement. Solovyova of Ukraine takes the silver with 162.5.
Bench press gold with 172.5 kilos goes to Ecuador's.
And a great result for Johanna Aguinaga for 172.5 for the bench gold. Being presented by Gaston Farage, the IPF president.
Well done, ladies. Great job. Thank you.
Has every right to look absolutely delighted with that.
To the deadlift. Deadlift bronze.
Now we have the deadlift medals.
Radostina Lulova.
Bronze goes to Radostina Lulova of Bulgaria with 200 kilos. Lena Seul with 207.5 takes the silver.
Deadlift gold with 220 kilos goes to Ukraine's Larissa.
And here's Larissa Solovyova of Ukraine with 220 for the deadlift gold.
Great job, ladies. Thank you.
Of course, while the individual medals are great to have, the big prize is the World Championship title.
Medal position with 540 kilos from Norway, it's Lena Seul.
Taking the overall bronze, Lena Seul, Norway, with a 540 kilo total.
582.5 kilos goes to Ecuador's
Johanna Aguinaga takes the silver with 582.5.
Which means that your new 63 kilo open world champion as a master with 620 kilos. It's
and here is your new 63 kilo world champion, not for the first time, Ukraine's Larissa Solovyova with a 620 kilo total. We will now play the Ukrainian national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Ukraine. Great competition, ladies, thank you. If you will rejoin your compatriots at the back of the stage, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving these ladies
The
a round of
athletes
applause.
will now be led off by the technical controller,
From the stage.
Sen Yang, Chinese Taipei. Quite a result for Ukraine today, taking the title in the 63 kilo women's, and we have the 93 kilo men coming out next, where it was a Ukrainian 1-2. So here come the men.
And without further ado, here are the 93
These
kilo
are
men.
all the 93 kilo lifters, the B group that lifted this morning, as well as the A group that had just been on. $20 lifters in this weight class, one of the most heavily populated weight
We have
classes.
them all. Once again, the participation prizes are presented by IPF President from Luxembourg, Mr. Gaston Farage, and IPF Vice President from Iceland, Mr. Sigurjón Pedersen.
They're receiving the specially commissioned artwork, which is a memento of the competition. It's always nice to receive a little memento, even if you didn't get a medal.
Okay,
And then we will award the medals in the individual lifts, beginning with squat.
First of all, on squat.
Possibly the most popular result of the week.
5 kilos from Ukraine, Volodymyr Rysiev.
Vladimir Rysiev from Ukraine takes the bronze with a 385 kilo squat.
Squat silver with 387.5 kilos, also from Ukraine.
Konstantin Musienko from Ukraine takes the silver with 387.5.
And of course, squat
And
gold
in
and
front
a
of his
world
hometown
record of
crowd,
4.5
Nikki
kilos
Lenz
goes
of
to
Denmark
Nikki Lenz.
takes the gold and the open world record with 405 kilos.
Well done, Nikki. Why not break the world record twice in your home country? Good job. Thank you, gentlemen. And now to bench press. Bench press bronze with
We will
265
award
kilos
the
goes
bench
to
medals
Ecuador's
next.
Moises Villon.
And Moise Bion from Ecuador took the bronze with 265.
Bench press silver with 300 kilos goes to Ukraine.
Vladimir Rysiev
Volodymyr
from Ukraine
Rysiev.
takes the silver with 300 kilos.
bench
And
press
his
gold,
teammate
and a new
broke
world
his
record of
own
351.5
world record bench
kilos goes to
with
Ukraine's
351.5 kilos.
Musienko.
Konstantin Musienko of Ukraine.
Great job, gentlemen. Thank you. And now to deadlift. Deadlift bronze.
Here we go with the deadlift medals.
330 kilos goes to the USA's Noah Johnson.
Noah Johnson, still a junior, takes the deadlift bronze with 330 kilos.
Deadlift silver with 340 kilos goes
Volodymyr
to Ukraine.
Rysiev from
Volodymyr
Ukraine takes his
Rysiev.
silver with 340 kilos.
And deadlift gold and a new world record of 371.5 kilos goes to the US.
And the gold goes to Gregory Johnson, USVI, with 371.5 kilos. Superb deadlift.
Great job, Greg. Well done, gentlemen. Thank you. And now to the overall. In bronze medal
We
position
now
with
crown our world
77.5
champion.
kilos from Denmark. It's Nikki Lenz.
Nikki Lenz from Denmark takes the bronze medal with 977.5 in front of his family and his hometown crowd. Vladimir Risiev takes the silver medal with 1,025, which was also the Masters 1 world record total.
And your new 93 kilo open world champion.
And here comes Konstantin Musienko with 1,064 kilos, the world open record in total. First place and his first open world title.
Your new world champion is Konstantin Musienko, so please join me.
We will now
For the national anthem.
play the national anthem of Ukraine for the second time tonight.
Well done, guys. Great job. That competition has taught me two things. One, if your name's Johnson, you're a good deadlifter. And two, Ukrainians are strong. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving these guys a round of applause as they follow the technical
The athletes will now be led from the platform by the technical controller. Absolutely superb display of powerlifting we have seen today. So that's it from us. This good night from Viborg, Denmark, and we will see you again on Saturday.